Okay. All right. Yeah, I think we are good to go. We are live. What's going
We
on,
need a better
guys?
entrance. We need a more profound entrance for these. I
Yeah,
mean, I feel
yeah.
like we
Well,
kind
we
of
need.
stumble in. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, hey, it's a soft opening.
yeah, you're right.
We roll in. We get a breakfast ball on the opening. So yeah. Uh, break. So here's our golf preview for the week. Scotty's gonna win again. The end.
Go to one.
Right, yeah.
If he was in the field, I would bet him. I don't care the number. Just give me a winner. What
Yeah.
do we do? Take a week? Do we take 2 weeks off, or do we take 1 week off?
Just one. Just one. We
Okay.
missed the memorial.
But then we couldn't
Um,
review. We took one off, so we couldn't review the Scotty win, and we couldn't predict the Scotty win. So we've really
right.
missed 2 Scotty wins. Yeah. So he was due. He was due. Of course.
Yeah, no, he absolutely was. But I don't know if he's still due. He's going to be due next week now because he can't win this week. So next week he's going to be
Yeah, have you
due
been
again.
seeing the preview of Oakmont? Have you been seeing the clips and the talk
I
of
have
what the
not.
next week is gonna be? Oh boy, it's gonna be fascinating. I've seen some pictures of the rough. Just the typical rough is like 6 inches. I forget what the stat was, but I believe, and this is gonna be a rough estimate of what the tweet was. It was so unbelievable that I couldn't even absorb the information. I believe on 9 holes, Scotty's practice round, he didn't miss a fairway and he shot 3 over. So 3 over on the front 9 without missing a fairway. It could
Is
be
that good?
for me, yeah, I'll take that. I'll take plus. I'll take a 39 and all fairways. So I think not to spoil. Oh, Adam Scott hit every fairway and was 3 over. It wasn't Scotty. Okay, Scott, you can see how I mixed that up, Tapper Cash. Thank you for providing the perspective. I just saw the SCOTT, and that was all I needed to make a conclusion. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for the correction. Point is, that's still wicked. Yeah, that's next week, though. We don't have to worry about that right now. We have a much easier course this week. And a fairly strong field outside of missing Scotty.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. Well, I mean, let's get into it. I guess we don't have too much to necessarily recap here from the memorial.
Yeah.
Scotty won. His son had a blowout. In the aftermath celebration. I don't know if you saw that at all. There's some
Didn't
pretty
see
funny
that.
videos. Yeah, when his wife handed over the baby and she's like, "Be careful." Like, I mean, you know how the blowout game goes. It's all up and down his back. It's just like, be careful, and like you can see it. It's just straight through the stain, straight through the shirt. But yeah, that was funny.
Wow.
But yeah, yeah. It was
I
just
don't
a
know how I
funny
missed
moment. It's just like, hey,
Yeah.
you can be the greatest golfer in the world, and still fatherhood still happens. Oh, here's a good. I mean, look, what do we think here? I
If
don't
you're
know.
wondering why we're
Maybe,
late,
maybe we could put it to the test. We could put it to the test.
if you're wondering why it's 2:38 and we're just now starting, it's because we got on here at about 1 and we've been just talking about stuff. You can fill in the blanks, henchman, Tapper Cash. Yeah, I have a lot on my mind, things to say, but we can we can hold a separate venue if we need to get into that. So yeah, Scotty, he's unbeatable, but I think you can only overcome so much collusion. We'll just say that. I'm gonna crack this open. Is that allowed? Not a sponsor?
Whoa, whoa, yeah.
Yeah,
No free ads.
yeah. Okay, so you wanna roll into it?
Yeah, yeah. Let's get into it. All
Spoiler.
right. Tell us about this. Yeah, tell us about TPC Toronto.
So the problem is this is another one of those the model can't model without the data. And yeah, Man of the Henchman, this is a throwaway week anyway. It's a
Yeah, kind of
pre
is.
it's a pre-major, which I'm shocked there's as many guys in the field as there are. I mean, really outside of Scotty, maybe a few other names. But this is a new course for the PGA. It has been adjusted. It underwent some changes, made it a little longer, added some bunkers. 7,400 yards, par 70. I think if you went and played, Zach, it would be a par 72. I think they've made a par 5, a par 4, and a par 4, a par 3. They've made some changes, adjustments just on the scorecard. But all in all, it's a brand new course, and therefore no data can be found. What I will tell you just by looking at the flyover, and we could pull that up if it was really something we wanted to get into. Hardly any trees, pretty wide fairways, doesn't look like a lot of obstacles. Water looks avoidable in a lot of situations. The par 4, it's going to be a hit your 350 driver and play a wedge in. That's what I project this week to be. I think you're going to see 20 under for the winner. I think you're going to see scoring. I think you're going to see, if the putts are rolling, who cares what your driver's doing as long as it's carrying 280, 300. So again, I don't have a ton of information. What stats matter? If I had to just kind of give you something, I would say guys who can dial in their wedges from 100 and in, guys who can hit the ball far, and guys who can make putts. It's a very like it would be like taking these guys to your local course and saying, have at it, right? It's not going to be too demanding. And I think you're going to see some low scores. So again, no course history like we usually do. And so the model is going to be loose. I mean, there's nothing to go on in terms of data. So a lot of these trials you have to take with an asterisk. You have to kind of understand I'm working with conjecture. I'm working with estimation based on what we can assume about the course. So these are the 5 trials. Again, I take the top 15 guys from each trial. They're scored out of a possible 100 points based on the details that I include. And here is the summary. So there were 3 guys who every time appeared on the trials, which may be inaccurate because we're basing it off of something with no historical data. So again, this is the throwaway week, as Man of the Henchman said, to some degree. Keith Mitchell, Rory, and Sam Burns appeared every time. Ludwig and Sanjay only missed once. Then you have Hatman himself, Harry Hall, your favorite, Harry Hall, DFS superstar.
Big Harry Hall guy. Yeah, man.
Yeah. And Shane Lowry. At 8, Pendrith. Now, there's been talks that Pendrith is familiar with this course. He's played here quite a bit.
Home game for him.
Canadian, not PGA events, not on the tour officially, but some of the other, minor leagues, if you will. He's familiar. So if you like that angle, if you like that edge, go for it. And then it really just feels like sort of you put a bunch of dice in a bag, you shake it up, and you spill it out on the table. I like Wyndham Clark this week, not to get ahead of myself, but I think this course sets up well. I think the competition is fairly weak. It feels like an event that Wyndham Clark could come into and compete. So if we just look at the overall board, we want to walk through this and we want to see, talk
Keith
through,
Mitchell.
make a DFS lineup. This is what we have. And again, Rory should be number 1. Technically, his total score is higher. It's just, I think, pulling. It's pulling based on the number of appearances, and then it's sorting by alphabetical, I believe. So sorry about that, but I think it's pretty easy to see that Rory should be number 1. So, any thoughts? Any notes that you want to add?
So I think somebody that well, let me see. I'm trying to look for a name that I haven't seen on here yet that is conspicuous by his absence. Yeah, Corey Connors. Where is Corey Connors?
He's in Canada. He's getting ready for this event.
Another home game for Corey Connors too.
Yeah.
Corey Connors was last seen losing me money for betting him as top Canadian in the last major.
Let me look. That's a fair point.
Yeah,
I
which
think
had nothing to do, to be fair, with him. He actually performed very admirably, I thought. He was like in the top 20, maybe even top 15, maybe perhaps. But one of these other Canucks just kind of played out of their mind, and it might have been Pendrith. Was it
yeah.
Pendrith? Yeah, it was Pendrith who finished in the top 10 and lost that bet for me. Gave me my only loss on the infamous Spaces pick sheet. But anyway,
You could have just edited it. You could have gone back in and just changed it,
well, yeah.
that's
Um
um, so here's why Corey Connors is I'm going to assume
missing.
why he's not showing,
Missing.
is he's 91st on tour in driving distance. I weighted driving distance heavily in a lot of these, and, his putting, I put a lot of emphasis on putting because and again, I think that's where strokes are gonna be made up, and he's not the best putter. A total putting, he's
Sure.
116th on tour, 80th in strokes gained. So when you think about a course that's gonna demand really long shots and probably make some putts, sure, Corey Connors could get it done, but over the course of the year, not been necessarily a strong suit. So that's the reason he's not showing up. Doesn't mean he's a bad pick. It's just why he's not appearing on here.
Yeah, that was he finished 19th in that PGA championship. Last week at the Memorial, he finished 25th. So he hasn't really had a bad I mean, he's been on
He's
pretty
got to be one of the more
consistently in
expensive
good
guys, right?
form. Yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm not particularly interested in him for DFS. It doesn't look like, not at these prices. I don't know. We're seeing some guys that are in the 10K range that don't generally belong there, so it's like hard for me to justify. But
Yeah,
granted,
yeah.
I think it's relative. But a guy that does stick out to me, however, a guy that I do like, just been on an absolute heater, is Sam Burns, checking in up there at third on our list. I'm already looking at, I mean, him for top 20 plus 120. So always like to get a plus money guy. I don't really like laying juice unless it's for my guy Xander or the my automatic bet anytime it's available is just Scotty and Xander, both the top 20. But anyway, that's not available this week. So Sam Burns plus 120 in the top 20.
Am I ever going to get you on the outright train?
I throw the $5 or $10 that they allow me to with the boost. That's what I end
Yeah,
up throwing onto these out. That's where my outright tickets come from. So
right. Okay, that's fair.
um they're not
Yeah,
like
'cause, I
that.
mean,
We don't get any big boy bets on outrights, but I mean,
do you?
he finished 12th at the Memorial. He was 19th at the PGA, 30th at the Truist, 5 at the Byron Nelson, 13 RBC Heritage. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4 of his last 5 tournaments. He's finished in the top 20, and he was 30th on the one in the middle, which included a rough Sunday. So
Would you? I mean,
I like him
I
from a
guess.
DFS perspective, 9,300. I think that's pretty good value for how he's been playing. And like I said, I mean, top 20 is plus 120. I like that. I think I like that right off the bat.
Yeah, and I know Rory had his moments this year, and he's never one to doubt, but I don't view Rory as Scotty 2.0. I don't think Rory, he's always capable of winning, but I don't think he is the model of consistency that puts Scotty in the conversation every week. So Rory's plus 400, and it's like, if that's Scotty, I am tempted. But Rory can come out and shoot +2 on day one, and you're like, what are we doing here? So I'm not interested in Rory.
No,
Therefore, when you have such a top heavy guy like that, you start to see better odds on a lot of other guys. And so I think this is a week where if you want to allot a quarter unit and then you want to split that down 5 ways or whatever, and you want to have some fun picking some outrights at longer shots, I think this is a good week to do that if you want to have some fun. And so when I look at Sam Burns at 28-1, I don't hate it.
I could be convinced there. Yeah. I mean, I can get there with him. Like I said, I mean, he's been playing, he's been in a great run of form. Not a lot of wins, not a lot of outright wins, but
Right.
a lot of tournaments. He's playing in a lot of tournaments with that only one guy wins. Scotty Scheffler, so
Yeah.
this is an
Right.
opportunity for
Right.
somebody not named Scotty Scheffler to win, right?
Ludwig, he's trending, right? He had a pretty good week last week, and I'll admit I was checked out a little bit. I was on vacation, literally, and a little bit sports bettingly. 16th, I guess it wasn't phenomenal at the Memorial. Cut 60th, 54th, 7th cut. So he's a second odds favorite, and
Yeah,
I
which
I don't see it.
that
Um,
yeah, no, I don't either. I mean, like we know the ability's there. It's just I don't know. I don't like I said, I get it. It's because of a smaller field here or a small, it's not as much name brand guys up there at the top, but it's hard for me to
yeah,
I like Ludwig when he's a little bit further down the odds sheet.
yeah. Do you know who I think is winning this week?
Oh man. You've been really on the Sung Jae.
I'm in on him,
You've been in on him for a while. I know.
and
Uh
here's why. So many of the courses this year have been dependent upon approach play. It's been a long time since we've seen a guy, this sort of style. Sung J M's approach play costs him tournaments left and right. Lost strokes on approach nearly every single week this year, except Cognizant, in March. Only time he's gained strokes. What he consistently does well off the tee, around the green, putting. That's all you need here. Is my kind of estimation. 35-1 on FanDuel is worth a sprinkle. Worth here's a boost that DraftKings has given me. Let's boost that tomorrow morning. Is worth, I've got this free bet from X, Y, or Z. I'll put it on there. I don't need you to dig deep and scrape the edges of your bankroll to put a wad on him. But I need you to understand at 35-1, I like him for a sprinkle. And I think he's winning the golf tournament this weekend. Stamp it.
yeah, interesting. I am a little sad that my favorite Korean is not in the field this weekend.
Siwoo.
My guy Siwoo, man, what a
Yeah.
heater he's been on.
Yeah.
And we call I mean, we've talked about it. It's like, man, I feel like Siwoo might be turning in the riding the ship, getting healthy,
Yep.
but he's ripping darts on the course. Like he's feeling it. Like Siwoo's locked in right now. So that may be a little teaser. We'll be on some Siwoo stuff next week for sure.
Well, you will.
Yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. I'll definitely
I'm
be in. Oh
still
yeah. Not blame me
yes,
for
you're not
backing
blaming
him.
me. That's
Somebody
good.
else in on him. Yeah, criminal 012 in on him.
You can't spell criminal without IM.
Yeah, that's
Thoughts?
right. That's
Yeah, I
right.
mean,
That's
we're there. And if you read it backwards, same thing. It's a sign. It's a green means Goman, as I'm starting to call it on
that's
the
right.
channel. Um, you can talk about Harry Hall. I have no interest. I don't care. Maybe a top 20. You got a top 20 at 150? I'd
Dude,
I'd
this
I'd bite.
this man has had 3 straight top 20s. He's
Give
finished
me plus
6,
150.
19, and 20, and then 33 before that. Just a tear. You don't like the headwear, but don't hate the hat, hate the game. Hate the player, hate the game, whatever. There's we'll workshop that one. But yeah, Harry Hall.
What's the price?
Where did this guy come from?
Um, I don't
Seriously, I mean, he's
I mean, yeah,
He's on
you're
fire.
right.
I had him last. I mean, I know we didn't stream. I bet him top 20 last week. I had him in my DFS lineup. I mean, he's
He
just.
came from England.
Well, yeah, I knew that, but I mean, I never. I
You know how
was
tall he is?
unfamiliar with his game until recently.
He's actually
But
kind of huge for a golfer. I mean, he is an MLB catcher is what he is. He is
I
6'4",
do.
220.
Oh yeah,
I
he's a
mean,
big boy. Yeah. I do
give
wish
me
that he
plus
wore like the
150.
Bagger Vance, the Bagger Vance pants. I wish he wore those, but
Can you give me a
you
price?
can get a plus 160 on a top 20. I don't know. Can he go? Is he going to go four straight top 20s?
I mean, when I said 150, I was being I didn't I thought I could say that and get away with it. I thought I'd be like, "Okay, he's 130, really? I don't have to bet it."
9,200 DFS price, just sandwiched in between Sung J M and Keith Mitchell.
Pin that comment. I wish I had give me some power here. Come on. That's a great the British Sepp Straka. That's
Yeah,
exactly. I
man,
mean,
that's a good one. That's a good
they
one.
look
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. They could be yeah,
They could
they could
take
be
us down, man. These guys like they could maybe baby the Ryder Cup.
they could rig a
Straka,
poker game.
seriously.
Yeah.
Harry Hall, yeah, Harry Hall. I think if you bet Burns, Hall, and him, you do fine this week. Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Well,
Our guy
we're gonna
Krem. I
work
don't know if you've been creme de la creme. If you've been hanging out since the beginning, I did like me some Sam Burns. So you could probably throw me some top 20 on there for Burns. He's a DFS. He's going to be a DFS guy for me. So
yeah. Okay. Shane Lowry, I do have a soft spot for Shane Lowry.
sure.
I think he could win this. He's been playing one of his better years in terms of consistency on the tour this year. Doesn't have the typical top heavy competition, which should help him shine. But again, I was kind of let's see. I don't know what he did last week. 23rd at Murfield, cut
23rd.
the week
Yeah.
before, second at
2.
the Truist, but he had a meltdown at the Truist. I mean, I had an outright on him to win 500. Gosh, yeah, don't remind me.
Oh,
Awful,
yeah.
awful.
Yeah.
Hole 16, 17, just disgusting. Anyway, yeah, I mean 12th, 18. But what are we 22 to 1? That's about where I would, put him.
Minus 110 on a top 20. He's under the 10K mark. So this is another guy that is he's currently in my primary DFS card here.
Okay, so he made it there. Yeah, I think that's a safe play with the DFS. I don't feel good about an outright at 22 to 1.
Yeah.
But I think you can see some like 7th feels good. Top 20 minus
Top 10,
110.
maybe a little top 10.
What are we there?
Top 10. Let's see. Yeah,
Are we
Beers in Buffalo.
175?
You said we were dropping this tomorrow. If we drop this tomorrow, it would be too late. You wouldn't be able to get any bets in.
Yeah, we start tomorrow, don't we? Bright and early,
Yeah.
6:45, I believe, is the
Right.
first tee time. Which you could bet live. I mean,
Yeah, so let's see. Little top 10, Shane Lowry plus 230.
It's not horrible. Yeah.
Fourth, he's
Um,
like 1, 2. Yeah, he's like fourth guy on the list under Corey Connors. So yeah, I already, like I said, I already kind of had Lowry pegged as a DFS look guy, just because I like any top tier type guys that you can get under that 10K range. Yeah.
Yep. Pendrith.
The PGA notwithstanding, Lowry's just a guy that's never going to kill you. Like he's just always going to kind of be like, I feel like he's always going to give you fair return on investment from a DFS perspective.
Agreed.
Especially now that he got that PGA out of his system. I think that was just kind of like a little bit oddball.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, Pendrith coming off a 12th and a 5th. Last 2 events.
Yeah, the 5th. That's the one I was talking about. Yeah, where my guy Corey Connors, he did actually. He was inside the top 20. He was 18th, and Pendrith was just carved him up. Yeah, he went 69, 70, 70. Yeah, I mean,
I
he's
just feel like we're a
12
week.
last week at the Memorial. So he's he's gone 5-12 in his last two. Not bad.
I feel like
I can't get there with him. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't.
I think we missed it, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
he's the fifth favorite. He's after Shane Lowry.
Rory, Ludwig, Corey Connors, Shane Lowry, Taylor Pinchot. Like he's in top, and I think it's a result of his recent performance, which is maybe fair. I think there is, a connection to the Canada and maybe being familiar, but I just think the value may be gone given all of these things. 26-1. Yeah, what's his DFS?
It is a home game, but yeah, 9,600, which more expensive than Sung Jae.
Yeah, so if it's between them, I'm taking Sung Jae.
Right.
Okay. I'm starting to wonder if maybe Alex Noren is being miscalculated in this model. We've seen him a little bit too much and a little bit too high. So I may need to just give that warning every week that we see Alex Noren. Maybe I need to go figure out why that's happening. Has he even had a showing since he's come back?
Oh, yeah. Because remember, we were like very confused about it a couple tournaments ago, and it was because he was gone with injury. But he came back for the Truest. That was the one that it had him ranked like crazy high on a new course, right? It was in the Philadelphia, the new track. He came 51 for that one.
Yeah.
So which fair after having quite a long time off, almost a full year off, and then at the PGA 17.
Yeah.
Which, wow, I mean, and then last week at the Memorial 39, not horrible, but
lost 2.5 strokes putting. So, but figured it out in round 3 and 4. Just a really bad first 2 days of putting. Okay.
I don't know. I need to see more. I know. I don't. More sample size. Let's see.
Yeah. Now, Smalley is a guy that we've seen, and then it kind of was a long break where like we didn't talk about him, and now he's back. It's pretty cheap, 7,600 for the week.
Yikes!
But a lot of cuts lately. Ooh wee, cut. 28th, 5th, 39th cut, 60th cut.
That fifth was at that Myrtle Beach like JV.
A fake event.
Yeah. While there was like the other event going on at Truist,
you're right.
I believe. So
the participation trophy event. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not interested in Smalley then. Kurt Kitayama came up a lot. Boy, he's another guy that doesn't ever seem to put it together. What's his DFS price?
8,400. Little steep.
That
little
too
steep.
much.
Yeah.
22nd cut, 5th cut, 39th cut. Yeah, just again, I'm not interested in it. It doesn't. There's not enough consistency. His putting is often where he loses. Nope. I'm out.
Bobby Mack.
Bobby McIntyre. Let's see. He's been pretty consistent, no?
Yeah, there was a week that we liked him that I think he shit the bed. That might have been at the Masters.
Yeah, we were like, oh, lefty. Yeah.
Yeah, 73 at the Masters. Yeah, that's right.
I mean, made
20 and 6. Yeah, last two. Yeah, 20 last week, 6th at the Schwab. 47 PGA. Yeah, I mean, he's been all right. I'll tell you right now, no interest in DFS. He's very expensive
98?
there. 98, yeah.
Not
looking at it, not looking to get involved in a top 20. I don't think
he's the 7th biggest favorite, 28-1. No.
Yeah.
We're getting to somebody I want to talk about, and it's not Thorborn Olsen.
Yeah.
So
Which I
mean,
think we're kind of noticing a trend here, as we're kind of halfway through this sheet anyway, I think is that the play is maybe go a little bit deeper down the board this week with a not not a lot separating some of these guys. It's just kind of like a hodgepodge of guys that could have a pretty wide range of appearances. So I think it's the move is going to be go a little deeper, dig a little deeper down the card. I mean, I can already like my DFS deal. It's like, hey, a little top heavy with a couple guys, and then dig a little bit deeper on some cheaper guys rather than I don't know. That middle tier is just it's not a lot of guys I like in there. But yeah, carry on.
Wyndham Clark has been playing horrible.
Broke his
No way
driver
around it.
at the PGA.
Yeah.
Threw his driver and snapped the head off of it, which I almost just blacklisted him for the rest of the year just for that alone.
Okay, so do I need to not I at 55-1, I am shocked. Because of how this course fits him. I think this is a great spot for Wyndham Clark. His performances, when poor, have been hemorrhaging strokes on approach. I mean, at the Memorial last week, he lost 8 strokes on approach, 8 strokes tee to green. That is unbelievably bad. And you get 56th. I mean, that's what I do. I mean, that's me out there. At the truest, 5 strokes on approach, 4 strokes tee to green, 6 strokes overall. He's putting inconsistently. He's either losing massive or he's gaining massive. He hits the ball far, and he's good around the greens. So he's always going to hit the ball far.
So what's the issue here? Just the approach game? Like he's not.
I think you're getting a good price because he looks off. His game does not look good right now, but I think his game doesn't fit where he's been.
I was going to say, and not to read too much into it or like mention it again, but I mean, a guy on the tour, a professional, breaking his driver out of anger, like rage, like that's amateur shit. Like but that's not a guy who's like feeling good about his game either. Like this is a guy who is like deeply embedded into frustration right now. Like I don't know. That's the case I'll make there. Like that's not a guy that's dialed in. That's a guy who's like been on a slow. He reached his boiling point, right? Like you get to that point. You don't just like have a bad drive and snap your driver.
Yes,
in a major. Okay. Jesus.
Devil's advocate to your devil's advocate. All right. I'm going to double devil advocate you here. I'm going to put this in a context that I relate to. So let's say I am a professional eater. I am Joey Chestnut. All right. And I do different eating challenges. And 4 weeks ago, I was eating oysters. Not my favorite. Didn't perform well. 3 weeks ago, I was eating Jell-O. Not my favorite. Didn't perform well. 2 weeks ago, I was eating spaghetti. Didn't perform. This week is Wyndham Clark's Nathan's hot dog competition. Joey Chestnut may have shucked and chucked an oyster, but oysters are not Joey Chestnut's game. And so, yeah, he acted out in the moment. He got upset because the oysters weren't sliding down the gullet like they were supposed to. Wyndham Clark is going to come out here. He's going to crank the ball. He's going to have a lot of around the green second shots, and he's going to putt 4 strokes to the field. And at 55-1, I'm checking his box.
Wow.
That's my piece.
Well, for all the decoders out there, the name Wyndham, people are probably familiar with the Wyndham Hotel group. I don't know what you call it, conglomerate.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure headquartered in Canada. So while Wyndham Clark is not Canadian, the Wyndham company, the brand, the hotel brand, the Wyndham's, headquartered out of Canada for the RBC Canadian Open. So that's a little
That's a green means
that's a
going.
little morsel there for the decoders.
What about Lewis and Clark? Did they ever make their way up to Canada? Did they start in Canada perhaps?
The
Do you
problem,
know
well,
can somebody in the
their
chat
journey didn't. It was more westward. They were westward expansion. I'm sure at some point they did, but the problem is when you look at the topography for Canada, there's just not very far north you can go. Like you just kind of run out of air. Like you get to a certain point and it's like, well, we can't go any further north.
you
Like,
get to a
this is
certain point
just-
and you break your driver, right? And then
Yeah.
what do you do when you break your driver? You only have one way to go, and it's back down. And going
right.
back down in golf is negative numbers. Wyndham Clark -22. Your TPC Toronto RBC Canadian Classic champion. Thank you. You could end the stream right now.
What about Sungjae? I thought it was Sungjae.
Well, I mean, they're both going to win. I mean, they're both.
Anyway.
You put a few bucks on each.
Yeah, there you go.
You're good.
Maybe
Okay.
top two. Maybe get an exacta. Top two.
Oh gosh, can you imagine? Could you imagine for the 7 people watching this, if we got an exacta of M. Clark and we called it right here? I look at the rest of this. I don't even know who Matty Schmidt is. I don't have a lot to say about him. I know Luke Clanton has really picked up steam. He's getting some attention. A lot of people like him this week.
Schmid, man, Chuck Schwabe finished second, kind of out of nowhere.
So
7th at the Myrtle Beach JV Classic. 112 at the Byron Nelson. 9th at the Punta Cana, which I believe was another JV tournament. So,
I mean, that's an ugly track record. That's hideous.
Yeah,
he's either going to get top 10 or he's not making the cut. Is what I'm seeing.
That's there's been a lot of that, yeah. And then just the random second, yeah.
Maybe 7,500. He's worth a toss into a lineup, but I'm not going to endorse anything outside of that. What about Ben Hanan? Do we like him?
I feel like somebody mentioned him earlier in the comments. Somebody might have.
Yeah, it was our boy Criminal, I believe.
He might have shouted him out. Yeah, creme de la creme.
He's bringing the heat today. I'm a big fan. A lot of comments today. Oh, Ben Hanan is cheap, 7,400. Oh lordy. Oh boy. Cut 74th, 34th, 60th, 30. He hasn't had a top
ugly.
He hasn't had a top 30 since the Masters 2 months ago.
Yeah, wow. Which how did that happen?
Yeah. My word. He hits the ball far. He's 22nd on tour in driving distance.
I know it's counterproductive to your Sungjae. If you're somebody like me who's out on M, let me look. Let's see what we can get on a top Asian. Plus 550.
On Sungjae?
On Byung Hun N, yeah.
Yeah.
Sungjae plus 280, Kevin Yu plus 500, Rio plus 500.
It's only 4 guys.
Oh well, those are the top 4. I mean, then Tom Kim, which I don't know what happened to his game. Plus 550.
Tom Kim is 6th.
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of
5th. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, he's 5th. Plus 550, tied with Byung Hun and then Rico Hoi, Takumi Kanaya, Kaito Onishi, or Yi Kao at 60 to 1. But anyway, it's just something that I thought about. Top Canadian, Corey Connors again, plus 250. Interesting.
You won't make that mistake again.
No, I think he's. I might never bet him on that. He's probably banned.
I would be okay with Kendrick. I mean, I
Yeah,
would be
plus
okay with
360.
Pendrith at 360 for top Canadian. That doesn't feel too bad at all. I know we were talking poorly about Pendrith, but
Well, Mackenzie Hughes hasn't. I don't know. He just seems like he
right.
hasn't really been there this year. And then Nick Taylor. I don't.
Yeah.
I think
Will you
it's a
mind checking
2-horse race. It's a 2-horse race at this point with the
Wyndham Clark top 10 or top 20 even?
Yeah, sure. Let's see.
If you've got it up.
Yeah. Well, I went into the exotics.
Yeah.
You want top 10 or top 20?
Let me guess. Let me price it.
Sure.
Wyndham Clark top 20. I think if it's plus 175, you got to bet it. I'm not thinking it's going to be that good. I'm thinking you're probably closer to 150. What are we at?
Plus 220.
Yeah, we're betting it. Wyndham Clark top 20.
Let me see what I
plus
can get over. His over under on his finishing position is 44.5.
Where was that?
DraftKings.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know.
has he
I
really
just
been that bad? Am I blind?
He hasn't been that great. Hasn't been great.
Yeah, but he's been eating oysters and Jello and spaghetti, Zach. Or the metaphor, all right? He's not where he fits.
Well, what's he gonna be eating in Canada? Like poutine?
Hot dogs. It's
Yeah.
the Joey Chestnut. It's the hot dog. He needs to feel where he is comfortable. Bomb it, go get it, put it, be
Poutine.
done.
Maybe a poutine guy.
I don't even know what poutine is. Is that like French fries with sauce on it? What's poutine?
That's kind of the gist of it. Yeah.
It sounds naughty.
It's good. It's good. But when it's done right, it's good. It's like a
Okay.
cheese sauce on it, and yeah. Cheese curds type deal.
I did have some tuna in North Carolina that was raw.
World renowned North Carolina tuna.
Rare. Rose, elite putter. I actually do. Let's talk DFS because I have a lineup I made prior to this.
Anybody else you like your what? Let's touch on Cam Young. What's the deal there? I know I like his game sometimes, and he's an enigma.
Yeah, but he's made a rebound in ways that we like. You insulted him. I mean, you insulted him.
So I wasn't mad. I was just been disappointed.
And then all of a sudden, he's like, "Oh, there's Cam Young. He heard you." Top 10 at the Truist, 50th, 25th. He's turned it around. I mean, when I look at his results, he's losing a lot of strokes in March, nearly every category, and then April he starts to pick it up. But then in May, yeah, he's played solid. So, what are we talking in terms of distance? 20th in terms of distance on tour. That's pretty good. Birdie average. What about putting? He's decent at putting. Maybe there's a path. Maybe you just made a good comment. What's his DFS price? 75? Sneaky.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he might get thrown into the DF, but he's always like a high variant. He's always such a high variance guy that it's like, I guess, kind of makes him good for some DFS shots.
Do you have a lineup made?
I'm still tinkering a little bit. I'm kind of working. I'm having a little difficulty on some of the lower end guys. I think if we can try out Cam Young in there, which then we need a cheap deep cut guy.
This was my preliminary, okay? And I realize that that's not the best, and maybe that there's a
what
better
do you
way
got? Yeah,
Wyndham Clark. Here, I can do it on the screen because
we're gonna I guess we're gonna do two ways here. We're gonna go with with our lineups that we like. We're also gonna just like put together a sheet lineup, which I believe the sheet lineup might have cashed last time, but
we might be 2 for 2 on the sheet. Okay, so
not a lot of red marks on here, by the way. Not a lot of red marks. I thought I liked somebody. I think I liked the Sam Burns top 20. You could probably check me down for that one, but
okay. We'll go with Wyndham top 20. I think at 220 it's good. That's including ties, I presume.
Yeah. That's what I always. No, I don't mess with ties. Yeah, I don't. I'm not doing any dead heat.
I gotta erase that because I'm not putting an ounce of my coin on Ludwig. Not a chance.
Not in Canada.
Not in Canada. Okay. Speaking of circles off. Okay, here we go. Clark is in my DFS lineup. Naturally, he's going to win it. Sung J M is in my DFS lineup. Naturally, he's going to win it. Keith Mitchell, he's going to play a really good round one. He's in my lineup. Justin Rose is the fourth guy, not featured on this list, but it feels like an event where he's just going to come out and do what he needs to do. It's not going to be complex. He's just going to roll some putts in. Then I have Schmidt, which I'm not sold on, but like you're going to find out, reaching for these low down guys is tricky.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of action down there. So Mitchell, M, Smalley, Clark, Schmidt, and then Justin Rose. It's hard to designate that. Just
Seamus
right.
Powers in this tournament? Strange.
Yeah. So I'm going to save it. I'm going to submit it. Sometimes your first gut is your best, but I'm going to create something. I'm going to create another one. And what do you have? I kind of like Cam Young. I think at 7,500, Cam Young is a good.
So
value.
I have Burns, Harry Hall, Shane Lowry, Cam Young, and then this is
That's
where
a great
things.
chart.
Yeah, right. Like I'm pretty convinced to like build around that. I'm having to dig pretty deep in order to do it. But if I can like find a good cheap guy, not the big rig. Last time we went with the big rig, he was not the play. Yeah, I need a deep cut. Somebody in the comments, give us a little.
I'm going to test you here.
Yeah, here we go.
I want you to scroll through
Harry Hat Hall.
I want to test you. Scroll through the top. Let's say don't go past 8,000. Tell me who is shocking that they are that expensive. There is a name that I am shocked is that expensive.
Yeah, there's some odd pricing. Clanton, is that your guy that you're saying 8,000?
I mean, that's a little shocking, but he's been
just odd, yeah.
He's been relevant, so we'll allow it to slide.
You think somebody's overpriced?
I think someone is bizarrely priced, borderline overpriced, yeah.
Not Nick Taylor.
What's
going on with Max Homa? Tough time. Always got to check in on Max.
I think it's crazy that Mackenzie Hughes is $8,900. What has he done besides the JV event?
Well, yeah, I mentioned him. I mean, he stinks lately. Like
outside of that event,
not stinks, but horrific at the PGA. Horrible
at the RBC
showing.
Heritage, he got third. So maybe he's just an RBC. He's just an RBC guy.
He's a big RBC guy. Yeah, is he sponsored? I wonder. Is he one of the guys with like the giant RBC patch on his shirt?
Maybe that's what it is.
Okay. The other young
Carson.
Yeah, what's he been up to? 53 at Chuck Schwab, 13 at Myrtle, 90 at Byron, 112 at Punta Cana. I don't know. Not looking good for Carson. Not looking too good.
Zach, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I can't find anybody under 7,500 that I like.
I know my guy Kuchar already withdrew.
We had some Andrew Putnam action a few weeks ago.
What about this Norgard Moeller guy? 60, 84. Not playing a lot of golf. Fifth at the Myrtle. I feel like everybody. How many people finished fifth at Myrtle Beach? Seriously.
It was a participation trophy game. I'm telling you, you show up, you get top 10.
Who's under Gary Woodland? It's blocked off for me. On the
Kevin Roy.
Pass. Byung Hong, we agree we didn't really like him. Højgaard, maybe. 41.56. Man.
Chris Ventura, Pet Detective. What about him? It's not. I mean, it's tough. You start scrolling down.
It's just there's not a lot of consistency down here. You're kind of going off of gut feel with some of these guys.
Brent Schnedeker.
Yeah, Kendall.
Nick Dunlap. Delonto Griffin. Yeah, I mean,
let me check something.
You might have to go Harry Higgs.
I can't go back to the big rig. I can't.
This is brutal. I mean, it's a brutal list. I mean, you might have to get rid of Sam Burns and Sung J M because they're overpriced at 9,000, so you can afford guys in the 8,000s later on. I mean, good grief.
Do we like Norgard or no?
He's popping on the model. What's his price? 75.
Which technically is a little bit out of my price range for what I need here. I need somebody in the 6s, which I don't know if we're going to get there. We could get back to, our guy Chandler Phillips didn't really deliver for us at Chuck Schwab.
All right. Let's do this. Let's run
give me somebody who hasn't finished in the hundreds, and they're like, that's really all I'm looking for. Give me somebody who hasn't been finishing consistently in the hundreds and missing cuts. Jeez, is that too much to ask?
I'm going to give a very simple model output, and I'm going to see if we can just scrape the bottom of the barrel in.
I was also going to say maybe check out the trials and see if there's anybody that maybe pops there that didn't make it to this final sheet.
Right. Okay. So on a very basic level, Bo Hostler.
Yeah, I looked at the Haas. Big Haas.
7K. So his strengths, 22nd weighted strokes gained total, 38th birdie or better. He drives the ball pretty far, 306 on average, decent scrambler, really good bonus putter, really good putter. Okay. So
I need a cut maker. That's all I need. I need somebody who's just going to make the cut. It's really all we're looking for here. Maybe one of these Canadian guys. I don't know. Like, is there somebody who's maybe like a shark on this course? You know, a AJ Ewart. Or
I did read that there was somebody who
a Hunter S. Thompson. Dare I say? There's no. I added the S, but
hold on. Events at what's this place? Toronto TPC. I was reading that there was a very popular pick of a name that I did not know of because of an event that was played here. Again, not a PGA.
Maybe Miles Creighton. What's going on with Kiz? Whatever happened to Kevin Kisner?
He started. He took the Draymond Green route. He started. Broadcasting games, not choking out.
He was too. He became a content merchant.
Yeah. Well, nothing wrong with a content merchant. I mean, let's slow down a little bit.
Well, if I had my choice, I would lean more towards professional golf than.
Sure.
Content.
Okay, fine.
I don't have that option.
I can't find it, but there was an event that was played at this course, and somebody who has good history here, and I should have written it down. I didn't write it down.
There's so many just random Canadians in this field. Like a lot of just random Canadians I've never heard of.
Rico Hoey might be a decent spot at 7,300. His putting and scrambling isn't great, but he drives the ball pretty far. So a name to look at, Justin Lower. Doesn't hit the ball super far, though. Charlie Hoffman.
How about Mike
Charlie?
Weir? He's in this field.
Pass.
Yeah, well, he had his last tournament was the Masters, 59.
What about how much is Gary Woodland? He's expensive. 77 is
Yeah.
not horrible.
It's too much for what I need. I need cheap. I'm
Well, give me a
going way.
price.
I'm in the discount bin. I might be taking like a faceless Canadian that just has like the Canadian flag as his headshot. Like there's tons of them to choose from. Like I said, AJ Ewart, Hunter S. Thompson, Sudarshan.
Take Frankie Chopin.
What about Sudarshan Yelamaraju of Canada?
No. Adam Schneck, 6,700 is playable here. Hits the ball okay, far distance wise, good scrambler, decent putter. Adam Schneck. If you need a guy to fill a spot, 6,700, pretty cheap. Adam Schneck, make the cut.
Shank, Adam
move
Shank, yeah. Well,
Schneck. Yeah, sorry.
back to
Patrick
back
Fishburne,
missed cuts.
also in
though.
play,
That's
68.
he's actually
Okay, skip it then.
missing quite a
Oh.
few cuts. Like it's not Adam Shank, not a big cut maker. But hey, I don't know. Maybe we're not going to find one down here.
What about Justin Lower? Not the biggest hitter of the ball. Danny Walker?
Richard T.
pretty-
Lee.
I think your answer is Bo Hostler at 7,000. Figure out a way. I'm putting him in. Bo
So
Hostler.
if I take
7,000.
if I take the big Haas, okay, all right. If I take Big Haas, that leaves me 7,100 for my final guy, which would be perfect with my guy Matty Kuchar. He is 7,100 exactly, but as I said, he has unfortunately withdrawn.
He's on the IR.
Yeah, it's unknown. Nobody knows why he withdrew, but he did.
Yeah.
He's in the protocol. I don't know, Emiliano Grillo.
Yeah. I think we have to ask what Keith Mitchell's round one leader is before we.
I
get
thought
off
that
here,
ended though, because I thought he tanked last time. We might have mentioned it, and I think the edge has vanished. Let's see. Our guy Criminal, he was mentioning. I want to check on Hadwin for him. Adam Hadwin, a Canadian. 51 at the Memorial. Ooh, 137. Yeah, I mean, how do we feel about Adam Hadwin to make the cut?
Too Canadian. He's cheap.
Maybe bro.
Horrible scrambler. Not the biggest
Maybe
ball
Antoine
striker.
Rosner.
Okay, putter.
Maybe. Drew Putnam.
Antoine Rosner hits the ball pretty far. 48th on tour.
Like with all these random
But I don't know
Canadians
anything
in
about
it, like this almost feels like it's a member guest like tournament. Like, there's
Cameron Champ.
Is
Cameron Champ on
I
Live?
don't know what's going on with Champ. He is a guy I used to like whenever distance was needed, and then he's not in this field, but his game like fell off a cliff. I don't know what happened.
Yeah. I spoke to, I mean, there's no Scheffler, there's no Rory, there's no Scheffler, Xander, Colin, Hideki, Henley, Fleetwood, Thomas, Sepp, Cantlay, Brad. We're missing a few. We're missing quite a few. So I thought
this
was
is
a better
hard.
field.
It's a hard one to put together.
But
yeah, see, he likes
proving it's
Rosner.
not.
He likes Rosner.
Yeah.
Maybe a little French Canadian vibes.
Oh yeah. I think I'm
I
gonna
think
go
I need a
light.
Canadian. That's the pick. I have to get a Canadian in here in the lineup.
Apparently, who's
Yeah, are
playing?
you talking about Champ or Rosner is playing? I haven't seen anything on Cam Champ.
Oh, he's not wrong. Cameron
Well,
Champ
he's
is
not
playing.
available on DFS.
Is he available to bet on? Let's see. Well, I'll be 300 to
geez.
1.
He's not winning. Let's be honest.
Better odds than
Plus
Harry
550
Higgs,
on top
if you were
top
wondering.
20.
There are some prices out here. I mean, there are some guys that are
How many
1,000 to
people are
1.
in this field? Right.
It's
That's right. It's
huge.
like never ending. I'm just scrolling through Canadian garbage.
There's hundreds to ones down there. You're gonna listen. I'm gonna. This is the or Clark. You're gonna see a ticket on Twitter and on Sunday of a ridiculous name that was 100 to 1 or more. You know, just an absolute Frankie Chopin, Camilo Villegas. Just like who would bet that is what we're going to be saying. I fear. So go light, tread lightly. Bet M, bet Clark.
What's the model? What's the modeling on Ricky Castillo?
Well, considering I've never heard of him, Ricky Castillo, he ranks 7,200 skin and bones. 59th, 37th, 5th, 18th, 38th. Hold on. Wait a minute. Not too bad. Driving distance, not awful. Middle of the pack. Struggles with par threes. Really good par four player.
Not Canadian.
Not Canadian. Decent
Are we
scrambler.
fading Canada or are we tailing them right here? Are we backing Canada or fade?
No, I'm fading. Outside of full fade. Full fade. You know, Ricky Castillo, his putting is horrible.
I want to see which one of these guys. One of these guys has to have like the course record here, you know.
His putting is bad, Zach. If you're not scared of his putting, play him. Everything else fits.
Who,
His putting's
Ricky?
awful. Yeah.
I can't back a terrible putter. I can't. That's like an always like a stay away for me. Anybody who's a bad putter, because it's just nothing worth than like a guy who just has a meltdown because they can't figure out the flat stick.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, Richard T. Lee is a guy that I can't stop looking at. I mean, great name.
Yeah, I cannot. Here's what I got. I got two lineups. Simple. Some overlap. I already read my first one. I'll read you my second one.
156 golfers, by the way. It's top 65 and ties cut. So almost 100 golfers will not be making the cut.
Wow. Okay. Young, Woodland, Burns, Hosler, M and Mitchell. is my other lineup. Should have done it in a different color, but it's a good spread of the.
Did we like
the sh-
anything on? I thought we liked Harry Hall, maybe some top 20 plus 160. I don't know. It's just if you like him for 4 straight, I guess that's the.
Okay, I'll give it to you.
I don't know. I'm just.
I know you like it. I'll
If
mark
he
it. I'll
doesn't
mark
make it, we'll delete the pick. So
That's a joke, guys. We will not. It's a joke. All great cappers.
A lot of funny joke. Yeah, a lot of funny jokes these days. Not gonna lie, the more I keep looking at it, I don't hate Nick Taylor, top Canadian. I can't get off this top Canadian screen. These exotic markets are like my weakness. I never win them, but always.
Do we have a
talk
final
myself into
score
something.
or a?
Yeah. Let's get something fun. Yeah, I feel like I kind of, he said this is a throwaway week. That's kind of how I felt. I came a little bit more unprepared with like my actual bets this week. And then now I'm finding it increasingly difficult to like actually find stuff that I like. Just don't love this field. Did we decide on anything for Cam Young? Did we have him in a top 20? Just bet 20 top 20 guys, and like maybe you can, parlay 10 guys, and maybe we can.
I see the new trend is the
top 20
ball.
bird cage.
The new trend is the 3-ball parlay round 1.
I do like the first. I don't hate like round 3 balls. I feel like that's a fun way to like for people that want. It's a little degenerate at times, but like it's a fun bet if you want to watch, because then you can kind of like pay attention to one group. It settles that day, so you can have some fun there, I think, sometimes. But
the matchups are brutal. I'm looking through them in terms of like they're pairing 2 guys I like together, and I can't.
Wow,
I'm gonna cook one up.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking at some matchups. I mean, that's round 1. If I really know. I think I'm liking Sam Burns more and more this week. Yeah, we have him in the outright card. I do like some Sam Burns.
Yeah, Sam Burns 3 balls against Sung J M though, so I can't take that on principle. Yeah, I look through all these 3 balls first round, and I see 2 picks I like. That's not good.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, it's like the more we keep digging, the worse, the less I like this card this week.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a light week.
Mackenzie Hughes versus Nick Taylor in a head-to-head. How do you feel about that? Do you like Nick Taylor, I guess, is the real question here.
Over Mackenzie Hughes, yes.
Yeah, and it just a head-to-head. Head-to-head.
Yeah.
That's at minus 110.
So this would be like the only, if you want to go a 3-ball, I think Mitchell, significant advantage over Dietrich and On, given his recent performance, and then Cam Young over Fox and Tom Kim. But those are the only 2 that I really liked in this first round. So yeah, these round scores look. This is the last thing I'll say, then we can wrap it up. Round scores.
Ooh, Shane Lowry over Corey Connors. I don't hate that. Minus 110, Shane Lowry over Corey Connors isn't bad.
A lot of these guys are set at about 3 under par, which, again, without data, I think is very achievable. Sung J M under 68.5. Wyndham Clark under 68.5. Can you parlay these? Probably not. They're probably somehow correlated events. Yep.
These these make the cut markets are completely unbettable. Like this is insane.
The hold.
Yeah, like you can't. Like these are crazy.
Yeah.
Vince Whaley minus 200 to make the cut. Like what? Johnny Kiefer minus 200 to make the cut.
Okay, winning score. What do we say? Par 70, which puts it at what?
Yeah, let's see. I'm never good at these. What do we got?
280.
Yeah.
So the line is under 262.5. So 262 would win, which would mean, holy cow. What is that? 18? 18 under is the line. So yeah, I mean, they're projecting some scores.
Well, one thing that we have seen, I feel like, is whenever there's a new course, guys just like destroy it. I mean, that's what happened in the Truest, right?
I'm really wondering. Listen, regardless of what we've talked about and players and strengths, I think overall it's a course that's very scoreable. And when we look at a par 70 and 90% of the lines up right now are 68.5, which means that these guys have to go 3 under when they're projecting the winner to be at an average of 5 to 6 under. I think there could be some value on these first round scores under
So I have
68.5.
Yeah.
Not on everybody, pick and choose, but if you really like a guy, I think like Wyndham Clark under 68.5 for a guy who hits at 315, 320 at plus money, it's going to probably receive some of my shekels.
262.5. Right. 262.5. So if you play golf in Canada, when you're looking on the scorecard, are the holes listed in meters instead of yards? Do we know? Can we get a Canuck on this to maybe get us some answers? We'll get IT and stats and research department on that.
Yeah, I'll look. I got to think they convert it. I really do.
So they they have it listed in Imperial, like on the score. If you're playing there, you think they go meters? Yeah, they show meters and like.
No, they show whatever you use your preference. They show both. How about that? The caddies
seems confusing. It's where I feel like maybe the Canadians have an advantage.
If you want to bet Canadians for the sake
caddies are trying to do like metric conversions, like it's just, it's just looking for edges here.
Well, don't tell anybody.
Leaking edges. Really?
Well, look, I'm done. Alex, I need to respond to that. I saw it pop up. And then I'm like, wait, do I have rebet or not? And then I remembered there was something that happened a while ago where I got rebet, but then it said I already had an account. And then I was like, oh no, what's my login? And then I got mixed up and then I quit trying to figure it out. So, and then with, Fliff kind of turned me off to some of these sweepstakes situations and how they can be. So I'll check it out and I'll look and I'll let you know. But otherwise, I have nothing to add. Clark, Sungjae M, Sam Burns outright. Round 1 scores under for guys you like.
What's this bet card slip you have over here? Cam Young and
Round 1, 3 balls.
Keith Mitchell.
Only things I like out of all the 3-ball round ones. Only things I like. Okay, well,
Just get one last quick look here.
Yeah, get one last look. I gotta mow. I gotta go weed eat. I gotta go cut
Yeah, we mowed
down.
yesterday. Mowed yesterday over at this compound.
Yeah, our yard is. We inherited a gardener. We bought a house from an avid gardener, and I am not as such. And it's just like a bunch of weeds have grown, and I need to do something because I'm not paying anybody to do anything when I'm capable.
Can you check one more guy for me, maybe?
Absolutely. Who?
A little Cashmere Keith. Joseph Bramlett. What kind of fit are we looking at?
It's never a good sign when
late addition to the field. He's replacing Thigala.
Oh boy.
Good distance guy.
Hold on here, because it's never a good sign when he's not on the first page of the. I wonder if it's.
Might be a little too much of a deep cut. He's like 250 to 1.
Hold on, give me a second here, because I got. I don't know
Like
why.
maybe an Alex Smalley. Let me see what he's working with DFS wise.
Yeah, I mean Smalley's on the. Bramlett is not even showing up in the top 150 golfers. So maybe that's enough information for you to know that it's not the way to go.
Maybe, well, there's 154 in the field, right? 156. So maybe he's in that final sec. He, like I said, he was a late addition. He did get added as a replacement to. Maybe I don't know. That was a little bit more of a dart throw.
Yeah. Let me just talk you off that hill, off that ledge. Okay. Well, I will do my due diligence and tweet this, quote it, give out a couple of locks. It's a joke, and then we'll enjoy the week.
Might have some no sweat losers in there. Some bets that are just dead after day one.
Yep, and then I'll strike them from the record. You'll never.
That's all right. This is a good tune-up. You know, we're just doing a weird little Canada trick. Man, I keep coming back to Richard T. Lee there for the 6,800.
Trust your gut. Just trust your gut.
I know. Watch him. Watch him be skying up the lead. I mean, who do you trust more? With do you trust Henrik Norlander or Richard T. Lee?
You are the one trusting. It is your money. You're the one trusting.
Just saying.
Oh man, my red went away when I moved. Oh well, that's okay.
Yeah, we were going to remove them anyway. We were going to delete them anyway when they lose. I know what we were at. We like Sam Burns. You like Sungjae. I'm on my guy Harry Hall. Little Shane Lowry is a big DFS anchor for me. Hall, Lowry, and Sam Burns are my 3 DFS anchors. Build around those 3. And I don't know that we liked a lot down the list. Maybe some Cam Young. I think he's fine. Obviously a big distance guy, so I think he could be a good, his deal is always like, can he put it all together, right? Because he's either driving the piss out of the ball, but then, struggling around the greens, and then sometimes his driver gets a little wild. I feel like he gets a little uncalibrated, where which look, as do I from time to time. My drive gets a little out of calibration, so. But if he's driving accurate, I mean, look, he's can absolutely, hit the ball a country mile or a country kilometer, I guess, here
There you go.
in Canada.
There you go.
Burns,
There it
Sam
is.
Burns, Harry Hall, Cam Young. Yeah, like it. Like that. Lee Hu, yeah, Elmer T. Lee. I think that's what we said, right? Or Richard T. Lee. Elmer T. Lee is the bourbon, but Richard T. Lee, last available on DFS at the Alfred Dunhill Links Championship.
Out of curiosity, what do you think my max bet is on MGM Wyndham Clark, 66-1? I haven't been on MGM in many moons. Like, do you think they'll let me get $5 on Wyndham Clark?
Oh, sure. It's a donation. Come on.
I'm gonna guess no more than $1.30. Let's see. All right, here we go.
Richard Lee.
Golf.
So he's a Canadian who's playing on the Asian tour, so that's why we don't see a lot of Richard T. Lee. Interesting. Yeah, it's hard to see. I don't know how many people are in these fields in these events that he's playing. I have no idea. Official world golf ranking 172.
$4.30 was my max. Okay, well, I hear my daughter crying down there, so I'm gonna.
That's always fun.
Yeah, she's supposed to be going to her dance rehearsal, so I better go lend a hand. So, okay. I'll tweet this out. I'll be in touch. We'll be winning.
Yeah,
big.
we'll put out the final after we get the DFS card out of the workshop. We'll put it out there.
Yep. All right. Well, take care.
Yep.
And we'll be back.
Yeah, no, we'll be dialed. We'll be locked and loaded next week. Much like the field, it'll be a much better field. A lot more to talk about next week. We won't be mentioning Richard T. Lee quite as much next week, I doubt.
Yeah.
We won't be digging, right? We won't be like digging through these deep cuts and combing through just random Canadians that play on the Asian tour. But yeah, anyway.
You will be betting Xander top 20. That's what I do know.
Oh yeah, I might bet it now if it's available.
All right. See around.
Bet it early and often. But yeah, we can. Yeah, we might get in there. Just a look ahead, 18-1 on Xander next week. By the way,
not interested.
18-1.
Not interested.
What do you think Scotty's price is?
6.
6-1. You think?
Mm-hmm.
Plus 280. That's like a top 10 price, you know? Like
Okay.
that's like
Yeah, that's insane. That's unbelievable.
plus 280.
Holy cow. Okay. Wow.
Rory is plus 650. So yeah, this is a much better looking field here. I'm already like, we might start research early for this one.
Okay,
I
I'm
like
leaving.
what we're seeing there. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Have a good one, everybody. Thanks for checking us out and firing up the chat. And we'll see you guys